What is up, y'all? Philly Fly Show checking in here, kicking in at Right Away Production Studios, and we are back for another week here. Super excited for this week. It's been a crazy 2 weeks in the NFL already. Well, 2 weeks has not completed, but hey, my Packers won their second game, so I'm ecstatic. Great start to the NFL season. Haven't put out many picks out there because, to be honest with you, week 1 is really tough. Week 2, to me, almost just as tough. After that, you kind of get a feel on what these teams are trying to compete for, and that's what we're going in for. Yo, this show, though, is about UFC, but UFC is a little different this week. Everything's just a little different this week. Everything's hitting different. Look, the NFL's here. I want to take one quick, this is probably not going to be even a minute, guys, but I just want to shout out, this video is dedicated to Charlie Kirk, man. Super great guy. He openly debated people and let them have a voice, even when he knew they were wrong. Yes, there's some things that you might disagree on him with. I don't really care. I totally disagreed on his religion status. I'm not a big religious guy. It's just me. It's not my thing like that. But Charlie Kirk was a great guy. No reason he should have been assassinated. It was totally unacceptable. And that's what we're going to end it here. But this show is dedicated to him because he's an inspiration to a lot of people. I was one of them. He inspired me to be on camera. If you guys know, I think this is like my 8th or 9th week on camera, on an actual live video. I started my YouTube series, my YouTube channel, 5 years ago in 2020. I started out, first ever event was Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. That's not the point of this. Just through the years of watching him and the inspiration on what he's done, it was just super sad to hear of his assassination, and it hit me. I don't get hit by many things like that, family deaths and everything like that. Totally hit you, but this one just hit a little different, and I hope change comes from it. And that's what we're gonna jump off into. We had UFC Fight Night. Nasruddin Imavov versus Imanov. Oh my gosh, I cannot say his name right. Nasruddin versus Kai was last week. Kai, the exact scenario played out like I said. Kai Bahalio is a good striker, but he's not elite. And when you face an elite striker like Imanov, finally got his name right, it's going to show. That was a totally decision fight, but Imanov did not take much risk in that fight. He did not want to just throw it out there and get taken down. His grappling defense was there, but he just didn't put it all out there. But he won the fight. I honestly think that guy gets a next title shot. He needs to be up in that caliber. The UFC or the Philly Fly Show last week, I thought I had a bad week watching these fights. I was like, oh man, that guy lost. I picked him. Oh, that guy, and then on my bet sheets, they were just getting annihilated from this. But then I went back, recorded what I actually said and who I said it would win. I went 8 for 13, so I was pretty happy. That's 2 weeks in a row where they're not bad weeks, but they're not super good weeks. So this week is UFC Noche. If you do not know, UFC Noche will start. The prelims will start at 2 p.m. The main card starts at about 5 p.m. There is a boxing fight, though, Saturday night. So that's why UFC Noche was moved to where it is. Plus, UFC, or a.k.a. Zuffa, they're the ones who are promoting this fight. This is a big. You won't see another boxing match of this caliber. But that is Saturday, too. That'll go on tonight. My prediction for that, I am rooting for Bud Crawford. I want him to stamp his legacy and be one of the top boxers of all time. But he's fighting a guy in Canelo Alvarez who just doesn't lose. He's got 2 losses and 2 draws. Don't care about that. He just doesn't lose. He's got the chin. He's got the boxing. It's going to be a great boxing fight. I'm not missing it because I'm not a big boxing guy, but that's a big event. And Bud Crawford is a guy you want to watch, and so is Canelo Alvarez. Later in his career, he hasn't fought the top competitors, but this time he's fighting somebody. So good fight there. But this is UFC Noche. We got Diego Lopes versus John Silva as the main event. Co-main event fell off. It was supposed to be Rasul I can't think of his first name. Rasul was supposed to fight, though. He's a young up-and-coming guy. He's like 21 years old. Dude's phenomenal talent, but he was going to fight Rob Font, and that was going to be a tough fight. So that fight got called off, though, so we got a switcheroo in there. But let's just jump into it. Match like number 14 is the Ultimate Fighter finale for the welterweights. They get Rodrigo Salznado versus Daniel Dinaco. Now, Daniel's a negative 220 favorite. Rodrigo plus 180 underdog. My prediction here, pure blind prediction. Don't watch The Ultimate Fighter because I didn't like the two people they put in it. Don't really watch The Ultimate Fighter because it's just gone downhill. It's not as competitive as it used to be. And to be honest with you, I don't know much about these two guys. They're both coming from up-and-coming promotions. Nothing big in their professional career, but I'm going to go Daniil here. I just think he's got more power in his game. He showed that he can knock people out, whereas Rodrigo just isn't got that type of competitors that he's fought under that belt. So Daniil, I think gets a win there, but I'm confident on it, but I'm not confident on it. I'm going to put 3 out of 5 just because I think he's the better fighter and the more well-rounded fighter. Match like number 13 is a bantamweight female fight. We get Montserrat Rodon versus Alice Pereira. Now, if you know that last name, yes, that is Alex Pereira's little sister. She's 19 years old, making her UFC debut. Yo, man, she's got power. She literally's got power in her punches. She's a good striker. Obviously, with having her brother as one of those elite strikers, she's probably learned some good striking. Rodon, though, she has fought. She's got more UFC experience. She's got more MMA experience, period. I think Rodon is a little bit of a tough matchup for a young 19-year-old coming up in this game. So Rodon's a plus 125 underdog. Alice Pereira is a negative 150 favorite. Yo, man, Rodon's going to be too much for Alice. Alice needs fights behind her belt. She's getting into UFC a little too quickly. I think she should have went to a smaller promotion and worked her way up. Rodon's going to be too much for her. Get that 125. Put it on a stamp and stamp it here. I'm not going to be super confident because of the power shots of Alice. So I'm only 1 out of 5 on the confidence level, but Rodon's going to get that win on Saturday. All right, match like number 12 is a flyweight male fight. We get Alessandro Costa versus Alden Cora. Now, Cora's a plus 300 underdog, whereas Costa's a negative 400 favorite. He's a pure prospect of talent. This guy can throw it on you with strikes, he can grapple with you, and he's got the gas tank. So I'm going Costa here. I think he gets a big win on Saturday. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that he can get his hand raised after the fight. Next is a middleweight fight between two brawlers, Zachary Reese and Cedric Dumas. If you don't know who Cedric Dumas is, the dude has been arrested so many times, and he posted his bank account. Well, one of his bank accounts. It doesn't surprise me if he has another one with more money in it, but his one bank account, he had $13 left coming into this fight. $13 to your name as a UFC fighter. He has said it is all because of legal trouble. He has made a decent amount of money in the UFC because he has. But that just sucks, man. Like, you gotta stop getting legal trouble. I know it's easier said than done on certain people, but you just gotta stay away from. You just gotta learn your niche, dog. Just go learn your niche and get away from it. Sergey Dumas plus 200, Zachary Reese negative 250. I'm going Zachary Reese here. Personally, if this was a different fight under different circumstances where Sadiq was not in legal trouble, period, I would probably be on the Dumas side. Dude's got crazy power. He can strike. He just stands up with his chin a little too tall. That's my only downfall of him. But Zachary Reese tucks his chin, crisp striking, good grappling, and it's got some great power underneath his hands. I'm going to go with Reese, and my reasoning is because of all the stuff not being in a camp fully, I'm guessing, with Dumas, or maybe not being accepted into a camp that well because of his legal trouble. I just don't see a guy posting his bank account the way he does and doing that, being in the gym and being 1,000% focused like Zachary Reese is on the other side. So I'm going Zachary Reese, gets a big win, 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that he gets his hand raised. Match like number 10 is another flyweight bout. We get Jesus Aguilar versus Luis Gruel. Now, Luis is a negative 200 favorite. Jesus is a plus 170 underdog. Look, man, Luis got KO'd in his first fight. Okay, that's not a good thing to get your first loss coming in and get KO'd the way he did. Jesus Aguilar has competed with every fighter, if not one. He has competed with guys that are better than him and gotten decisions over him. Okay, that's a fine. He's got a fine record underneath him. He's fought some competitors. I think he's got the skill set to beat Luis. I don't think Luis is as good as everyone thinks he is. I'm going to go Jesus Aguilar, 1 out of 5, though, on the confidence that he gets his hand raised. I'm taking that plus 170 and running with it. All right, strawweight female fight is a banger. This is a don't-miss fight. Tatiana Suarez and Amanda Lemos, both former competitors, have fought for a title. Yes, they came up short, but things happen. You got to learn from your mistakes in fighting in the fight game. Tatiana Suarez had a horrible neck injury. It's great to see her back and competing. Amanda Lemos might be at the end of her career, but she's got them hands, man. Them things are dirty, and they will slap your face. All right, negative 500 on Suarez, plus 350 on Lemos. Dude, it was hard not to pay Lemos with those hands. I just think Tatiana's grappling is going to be too much for her. She's going to pull those arms out, make her drag her into a deep water, and I think it's going to be a bad night for Amanda Lemos. But it's a close competitive fight. I'll be watching 1 out of 5 on the confidence level. Tatiana Suarez gets her hand raised after this fight. All right, lightweight bout for match like number 8. We get Claudio Puelles versus Joaquim Silva. Joaquim Silva plus 100, Claudio negative 120. Look, Claudio, he's got the grappling. There's no doubt about it. But in previous fights, no gas tank, no striking, pure grappling. Not the type of fighter you want to see in the UFC anymore because that just doesn't win you fights. You've got to be able to strike. You've got to be able to have a gas tank, and you just got to have more skill. And Claudio Puelles only has that in the grappling department, so it's very upsetting to see him fighting a guy like Joaquim Silva who's well-rounded in everything. There's nothing that he's super, super elite, and he does got power, I'll say that. So you might say, oh, he's got elite power. I'm picking Joaquim Silva here because Claudio just doesn't bring it, like I said. Doesn't have striking, doesn't have the gas tank, whereas Silva's going to have all that, and it's just going to be too much for Claudio. And this will probably be the last time we see Claudio in the UFC. Featured prelim bout of the night, match like number 7, middleweight fight. Jose Daniel Medina versus Dusko Trodovic. Negative 380 on Dusko. Daniel Medina plus 290. Look, man, Medina's got skill, but he keeps taking these fights with guys that I think are either better than him or at his level. It's not a good thing. You need to get some wins under your belt to get your way up there. Whereas Dusko, look, he's got some losses, but each loss that he's taken are guys that are better than him or have power. He likes to take strikes. It's hard to knock him out, but he'll take strikes. So that's where Medina's got a little bit of a puncher's chance, if you catch my drift. But Dusko's going to get this win, get his hand raised after the fight. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. Dusko can get his hand raised. Alrighty, guys, we're going a little fast here, but it's all right. This is supposed to be quick shows, 15 to 30-minute shows at the max. Man, I just got a text from somebody that said that they wanted to call me. I'm like, please do not call me right now. I am recording. But we'll jump into the main card. It's a bantamweight fight. Santiago Luna versus Quay Le. Quang Le is a plus 115 underdog, whereas Santiago Luna is a negative 135 favorite. Look, I wanted to pick Santiago's side, but making your UFC debut against a guy like Quang Le, who has got some UFC fights under him and got some good MMA fights under him, Quang Le is going to have way more of an advantage than what this plus 115 is saying. Sometimes I swear they just look. Sometimes I think the odds makers will look at a guy and go, oh, he's from that area, and he's making his UFC debut, and he's undefeated. Yeah, not my type of style. I'm going to go with the vet, and I'm going to go Quang Le, 1 out of 5 on the confidence level. He get his hand raised. Match like number freaking 5 here is a banger fight. This is a fight. I'm not betting on this fight. I'm telling you that right now. Well, you know what? I actually like the odds on certain things, but it'd be too hard for me to bet this fight because it's a banger fight. It's a don't-miss fight. These guys are going to beat the snot out of each other. Alexander Hernandez versus Diego Ferrer. Diego Ferrer is on the older side. He's 40 years old, okay? 40-year-old fighters versus a 32-year-old fighter. Typically, the 32-year-old fighter is going to win at about a 67 to a 70% clip. Oh, I'm not going because of the age. I'm going because of what Alexander Hernandez has done in his last 3 fights, man. He has showed that he's still got it. He's got power. He literally will get into a brawl, which is the downfall of this way. Why I think the odds are so close, and Diego Ferreira could land a puncher's chance. But that Diego Ferreira, 40 years old, it does bother me, and I want to see if he can actually fight in the UFC still. Diego -120, Alexander +100. We're going Alexander here, 1 out of 5 though on the confidence that he can get his hand raised. Just know if you're betting that fight, guys, it is a risky fight. All right, matchup number 4 is a middleweight fight between Kelvin Gastelum and Dustin Stolfus. Dustin's a +200 underdog. Kelvin's a -250 favorite. It is a middleweight fight, so Kelvin back up in middleweight. He does not look like he's in great shape. I will say that. That's a downfall, but Dustin is not that top competitor. He's might got some wins against guys that he shouldn't have, where I think they just overlooked him. Kelvin is not going to overlook him. Kelvin looked great in his last fight. His striking looks like it's back to where it needs to be. He might not have the gas tank because he just doesn't look like he's physically in shape. So if this fight gets to the 3rd round, that's a little scary. That will be on the scary end, but I think Kelvin gets it done. I think Kelvin even gets it done in the 1st round. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that my boy Kelvin Gastelum can get back in that win column, baby. All right, matchup number 3, lightweight bout between Rafa Garcia, Jared Gordon. Now, Jared Gordon, I didn't see what everyone else has saw up until his last fight when I picked against him, said he would easily lose. He just showed me up, man. He literally he's got it, man. He's got it. He's got to show it, though, on Saturday because Rafa Garcia is coming in and fighting for his country. He's a good fighter. He's got good striking. He's decent grappling, and decent grappling defense. Jared, though, has got to land those shots on him and put him out there because he's going to be coming for him and coming for his head, too. I'm going Jared Gordon. He's a -240 favorite. Rafa Garcia +195. If you want to go Rafa Garcia, I roll with it. I'm not going to dog you for it because that dude's got game, too. But Jared Gordon has showed me he's got game. And now if Jared loses on Saturday, I might be back on that train where I don't think he's got game. So we'll see how that works out on this Saturday. UFC Noche, baby! All right, co-main event of the evening. Bantamweight fight. Rob freaking Font versus David Martinez. Look, David Martinez taking this on very short notice. Okay? It is a pick'em at -110 each, which that was a big surprise to me. I honestly think they should have gave Rob Font a little bit of an edge. David's no joke. I wanted to pick him, but when I realized it was a short notice fight, I just couldn't do it, man. Rob's been in camp. Rob looked good his last fight. And Rob's been working on that grappling defense where that's his downfall. But those hands, man, them hands are dirty. So David, I just don't think David wins. Rob Font gets that win because he's been in camp the whole time. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that Rob can get his hand raised, and we are finally at it. The main event of the evening, folks, I'm going to say it really quick. Diego Lopes +210. It's a featherweight fight between John Silva. Fighting Nerds -260. If you watched anything in the last couple months, the Fighting Nerds have gotten the stock, and then 3 of their undefeated fighters are undefeated in the UFC. All 3 have lost. Downfall that is, I really like John Silva. He's got the skill to do it. It took too big of a jump and leap in competition, though. You're fighting a guy in Diego Lopes. Granted, Diego in his title fight, his gas tank wasn't there with him. Hard weight cut, he said. Plus, he fought that fight at 165 with 50K Ige before. I mean, things didn't add up right. I think Diego Lopes is that elite skill striker. He's got crazy power, and he can grapple. The gas tank is what needs to be improved on. John Silva, though, we haven't seen him test it. We have not. He's finally going to get tested on Saturday. Diego Lopes, that +210 is too sweet to not pass up on a fighter that their camp has just gone downhill. I'm going to go with Diego Lopes because the power, the striking, And I just think he's a better grappler. And he's got way more experience, I think, in the elite striking stance. Now, where he can lose, getting caught by them right hooks, man. That right hook of, well, the left hook's good too, but that right hook of John Silva is nasty. You do not want to take that, but you also don't want to take an overhand from Diego or a straight. His straight has knocked people out. So I'm going Diego Lopez, 1 out of 5 on the confidence because of John Silva's skill set, but Diego does not lose on Saturday. It's a big, big fight for everybody. Look, the Philly Fly Show is going to be number 1 on your podcast, on your YouTube videos. Let's get it. Let's make some more money on Saturday, and we will see you next week. And shout out to Right Way Production Studios for always making this happen. And shout out to Charlie Kirk, man. That was a nasty, nasty, nasty story. We do not need more of this BS at all. Everyone come together. Love y'all. Peace.